Hello everyone, welcome to Steam's Voices. Over the past year, something unusual has been happening across Africa. From Sudan to Somalia, from Algeria to Guinea, several governments have either cancelled major agreements with the United Arab Emirates or openly accused it of destabilizing interference. Just a few years ago, the UAE was one of Africa's fastest growing investors and strategic partners. So what changed? Why does it suddenly appear that some African nations are pushing back against the UAE? Today, we break it down country by country and explain what this shift really means. The UAE has expanded rapidly across Africa over the past decade. Through investments in ports, mining, logistics, security cooperation, and even military bases, Abu Dhabi positioned itself as a key player in Africa's economic and strategic landscape. But influence in geopolitics is never permanent. As domestic politics shift and regional rivalries intensify, some African governments are reassessing their partnerships and, in some cases, actively distancing themselves from the UAE. Let's start with Sudan. In Sudan, the dispute is deeply serious. Since the outbreak of civil war between the Sudanese armed forces, led by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, and the Rapid Support Forces, or RSF, the UAE has faced accusations of backing the RSF. A 2024 United Nations panel of experts report presented evidence that weapons were allegedly funneled to the RSF through Chad and Libya, in violation of UN sanctions. Sudan's military leadership claims the UAE is not acting as a neutral mediator, but as a partisan actor, helping the RSF maintain control over gold mines and strategic territory. As tensions escalated, Sudan cancelled a $6 billion port deal with the UAE and engaged in diplomatic confrontations at the United Nations. For Sudan's leadership, this is not just a policy disagreement, it is a matter of national survival. In Somalia, the conflict centers on sovereignty. In January 2026, Somalia annulled all defense, security and port agreements with the UAE. Mogadishu accuses the UAE of bypassing the federal government by dealing directly with semi-autonomous or breakaway regions such as Somaliland and Puntland. The continued operation of Berbera Port by Dubai-based DP World remains a major flashpoint. For Somalia, direct engagement with these regions undermines territorial integrity and national unity. The issue here is not civil war, it is state sovereignty. In Guinea, the issue is primarily economic. After seizing power in 2021, the military government demanded that foreign bauxite mining companies build local refineries to add value to Guinea-'s economy. In July 2025, the government terminated its agreement with Guinea Alumina Corporation, a subsidiary of Emirates Global Aluminium, citing failure to meet refinery construction commitments. The state subsequently seized bauxite concessions. This move reflects a broader nationalist economic policy, prioritizing domestic industrial development over foreign extraction. Eritrea Achal's relationship with the UAE cooled after the UAE dismantled its military base in Assab in 2021. Tensions deepened as the UAE strengthened ties with Ethiopia, Eritrea's primary regional rival. By early 2026, Eritrea moved closer to the Saudi-Egyptian axis and publicly criticized what it described as the UAE's destabilizing role in Sudan. Here the issue is strategic alignment in the Red Sea region. Algeria represents perhaps the clearest diplomatic rupture. President Abdelmajid Tebboune accused a foreign mini-state, someone widely understood to be the UAE, of interfering in Algerian politics and supporting separatist movements such as the MAC. In February 2026, Algeria cancelled its 2013 air services agreement with the UAE, effectively closing its airspace to Emirati Airlines. Algeria also views the UAE's support for Khalifa Haftar in Libya, its influence in the Sahel, and its normalization of relations with Israel as moves that challenge Algeria's regional leadership. This dispute is ideological, strategic, and political. So, is the UAE being cancelled in Africa? Not exactly. What we are witnessing is a geopolitical recalibration. African governments are asserting sovereignty, reassessing foreign influence, and renegotiating power relationships. For the UAE, Africa remains economically and strategically vital. But the era of uncontested expansion appears to be over. This is not a collapse of influence, it is a shift in how influence is negotiated. Power in Africa's geopolitical landscape is evolving, and the story is far from over. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more.